Well, hello once again, and thank you for joining me on the Waters and Stanton video channel. I've put together a compact station, ham radio station, which covers 160 meters through to 70 sems. And I want to run through it with you because I think it demonstrates one or two things which you can take advantage of. You may not want to copy this setup, but it does highlight some interesting things you can do, some interesting tricks you can do in order to not only make your station compact, but also make it very versatile. Now, what I've tried to do is to make the station simple in terms of you haven't got lots and lots of transceivers, you haven't got a sort of a wall of screens and so forth. This is a compact transceiver or compact amateur radio station. And I'm using a random end-fed wire. I say it's random. It's 71 foot random wire with a 9:1 un, which I covered in a previous video. That's the outside antenna. If I tell you what the outside antenna is, it explains what I'm using here. So I'm using a random wire, 71 foot long, 9:1 un, and that is connected with coax cable back to this setup. Now let me just run through the setup first of all before we examine how I've done it all. Basically, I'll put up on the screen now the setup. You can see that we start off with an Optima transceiver, which I'll talk about in a second. That then feeds in to an LDG AT-100 antenna tuning unit. That in turn feeds into a simple VSWR meter, and that then goes on to the 700 watt Acom amplifier. So let's talk about the basic HF signal first of all. On the back of the Optima are three antenna sockets. Two sockets are carrying HF signals, and the third socket carries the VHF, UHF signals. Now, for the VHF and UHF, this gives 50 watts out. And I've taken the output of that directly to my VHF UHF array, which is actually a simple vertical at the moment. It covers 2 meters and 70 sems. So that antenna socket feeds 50 watts and the signal goes straight from the Optima to the VHF UHF antenna. It's the HF side which I think is probably more interesting. There's two HF sockets on the back of the Optima, antenna 1 and antenna 2. Now, antenna 1 output is up to 100 watts output, and that feeds all the way through the description. I'll just put it back up on the screen here. You can see that HF signal feeds all the way through and eventually comes out the other end of the amplifier. I'll talk about how we can control the power output, etc., etc. in a minute. The second antenna socket on the back of the Optima could go to another HF antenna, but I've chose to allocate it to a separate receive antenna, which I've yet to install, but that will go to a separate receive antenna. The reason being that if you use a separate receive antenna, often you can reduce your noise. So that's the basic setup from the Optima. The other advantage, of course, of this setup is that I can take the front panel off the Optima, and that will give me a QRP rig. So I can remove this front panel and take it out with me and operate 6 watts QRP from the battery that comes supplied with it, or if I connected it directly to 12 volts, it gives me 10 watts. And that covers all bands, 160 meters through to 70 sems. So this setup also gives me access to a QRP transceiver without having to buy anything else. Now, why do I go from HF-wise from the Optima into the antenna tuning unit? Well, the reason I do that is because although it's got a built-in antenna tuning unit in this transceiver, with the random wire it struggles a bit on 40 meters. The other HF bands, it's fine, but on 40 meters it struggles and it doesn't really have a chance on 80 and 160 meters. But because I have got this ATU in circuit, I can make that transceiver match into the random wire antenna courtesy of this ATU. In other words, this ATU replaces the built-in ATU on some bands and gives me the ability to actually match into the antenna on 40, 80, 160 and also on the 60 meter band. I can bypass this ATU simply by just pressing that button there. That will bypass the ATU. In that case, I use the built-in ATU from the Optima on the higher bands, and the signal just goes straight through the ATU here and feeds into the VSWR meter. Now the VSWR meter will give me an accurate indication of what the true VSWR is on the antenna, because this is after the ATU. So we've got the Optima, we've got the ATU, and then we've got the VSWR meter. So although this ATU will give a good match as far as the Optima is concerned, the Optima will see, oh, a lovely match, I'm going to deliver power into that. But then it goes to the VSWR meter, which shows you what the real VSWR is, because with the amplifier on standby, the signal goes straight through there. So if I want to operate 100 watts or 50 watts on the HF bands, it goes from there to there through the VSWR meter, and with the amplifier on standby, it goes straight through there. So I've got the advantage of this ATU matching the antenna system, and this really is completely bypassed. What happens when I switch it on? Well, if I switch this amplifier on, it comes into circuit. I just put the circuit back up on the screen just to remind you. If I switch this amplifier on or switch it into circuit, then the signal goes from there to there to there into the amplifier. I don't need an antenna tuner unit, which I'll tell you about in a minute, so I'll switch that to bypass. So the signal is now going from there to there to there, straight into the amplifier. The amplifier has got a PI network, and a PI network is effectively like an antenna matching unit. That's the advantage of having a valve amplifier with a PI network built in. So those controls there act really as an antenna matching unit, and I can then match my antenna with this amplifier in circuit on any band from 160 meters through to 10 meters. So if I want to run high power, then this effectively has been bypassed, and I'm using that as the matching unit. Also built into this amplifier is a two-way antenna switch, so I can still have two HF antennas connected to this amplifier and select them on the button here on the right hand side. So that gives me the ability to select two antennas. Even in standby, when this amplifier is bypassed, the antenna selector switch still enables me to choose two antennas. So I hope you follow me through that and that setup. So what does this give me? Well, it gives me a very flexible station. And I'm not suggesting that you copy this outright, but it may give you some idea. You don't need a high power antenna matching unit with a valve amplifier, generally speaking, because it's got a PI network. So you can use a lower power ATU just to keep the transceiver happy when it's feeding directly into the antenna, in other words, when the amplifier is bypassed. It's a compact station, it's very versatile, and it covers a lot of bands. So if you've got a space problem, you've only got a small room and you've only got a small operating desk, that really does the job. The random antenna that I've got outside, with this setup, I can cover all bands from 160 meters through to, 6 meters actually. Also, by the way, this transceiver covers 4 meters, so you've got everything covered there. It covers the 60 meter band, covers the 6 meter, 4 meter band, etc., etc. So it's all fully covered. So that's my station. That's my station at the moment, just to demonstrate how flexible it can be by sort of bolting these units together and taking advantage of the fact that I don't need a high power ATU. It's built in there. I just need a 100 watt ATU. if I'm running this barefoot straight into the antenna. There we are. One final benefit I should mention, of course, is that with the Optima you can receive on 2 separate bands at the same time. You can have HF operation, and whilst you're operating on HF you can still monitor the 2m77 bands quite separately. So you could be listening out on a repeater with it squelched, operating on the HF bands, and if a station came up on the repeater it would break the squelch and hear it. Alternatively, of course, because it covers the airband, you could also monitor the airband at the same time you're chatting away on the HF bands. Another hidden advantage. So I hope it's given you some ideas. Much appreciate you watching this channel. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to press the subscribe button. And also thank you for your support at the shop. Don't forget we've got a very wide range of products. And just go on their website, have a browse around. If you've got any technical questions, give us a call, and one of the guys there will, I'm sure, help you out. And we also offer a very fast delivery service. Part exchange as well. Don't forget part exchange. We do part exchange, and we've got some great deals on our website at the moment. We've got some what do we call them? Bundles. We've got bundled deals on our website. If you key in the word on the search bar on our website, bundle, BUNDLE. You'll see all the bundle deals come up, and that means to say that if you buy a certain item, you can very often add another item. It may be free or it may be at a discounted price. So have a look at that. In the meantime, you enjoy your ham radio, you take care, and as usual, look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.